We went to the one-of-a-kind Tangalooma Harbor at Morton Island, the best snorkeling spot ever. Except when everything went wrong. Here's the story.
We're the McKays, a family that's never been sailing, from landlocked Alberta. Follow along as we buy our first boat, a 50-foot catamaran in New Zealand, and begin our journey to visit 100 islands.
Oh wow, that's amazing!
From Morton Island!
Being the terrible man that I am, I've dragged my family out to another incredible location. So the idea is the water comes over those rocks right there into these pools, and they call them the champagne pools. My wife's gonna tell me that I didn't film this steady enough, but I'm getting hit by waves and I'm walking on slippery rocks and the tide's coming in, and I've got to go get Daniel and Ezra out of the little cave we discovered before they can't get out of the little cave we discovered. And so you guys are just gonna have to deal with the fact that this is not on some sort of, Hollywood steady cam wire system or something, because all you got is me.
After spending the afternoon on the North Shores, we sailed down the coast of Morton Island to Tangalooma, where we had just enough time to do a little e-foiling. As evening neared, we headed to the resort for a date. We're gonna see if they'll let us in. Like, apparently the resort doesn't love cruisers. They don't love boat people, and some people say that they won't let you go to the restaurant here, even if you're a paying customer. So we're about to find out. Well, they let me order and they didn't ask for my room number, so we're good. In the morning, we headed out to snorkel the wonders of Tangalooma. Morton is a rather large island just opposite of Brisbane, but despite its long shoreline, there used to be no safe harbor for fishermen or pleasure boats. So starting in the 1960s, dilapidated boats were purposely sunk on a shallow sandbar. Reaching the bottom right now. This was really shallow, almost a sandbar, and so I think that's why they decided that this is where they were going to make the man-made bay. Over the next 20 years, over a dozen ships were sunk, and these skeleton ships have created a man-made haven that protects boats from the waves of Morton Bay. Over the years, these boats have turned into a new ecosystem of coral reefs and marine life that makes snorkeling these shallow wrecks a must-see experience. name Tangalooma is an Aboriginal word meaning where the fish gather, which is the perfect fit for this underwater paradise. I am completely inside a sunken ship right now. This is amazing!
They only bite people that have a good tan. The rest of you don't need to worry at all.
The area protected by the sunken ships had been quite busy when we had first arrived at Tangalooma, so we needed to anchor north of the wrecks, but that gave us lots of room to have some fun and see bigger wildlife. The wrecks at Tangalooma have to be one of the most unique places on all of the coastline of Australia.
Something massive, like right there.
You're gonna scare it away.
Yeah, I don't think you will scare it away.
There is a dugong out there. We have seen so many dugongs, but they are so camera shy, and we have never been able to capture it. But now we got out the drone.
Yeah. Still running the generators.
Sadly, the time had come to leave Morton Island, and that's when one of my worst parenting moments ever happened. Since we had just pulled up at the anchor, I had not made sure my kids were wearing life jackets or tethered for a crossing. Because we were anchored right next to the main shipping channel, even though we had pulled anchor in glassy seas, we were caught off guard by the wake of a massive shipping container. Instead of worrying about the cargo ship, we got distracted by a pod of dolphins playing right next to us. Suddenly, the wake of the cargo ship was coming towards us, but we underestimated the waves.
Oh my goodness, they're jumping on the waves. Hold on to something. Abraham, hold on to something. Hold on to something. Waves are coming. I don't want to die.
Oh boy. Oh my gosh.
Wow! That was great!
Abraham was almost thrown overboard by the wave, but Hiram immediately used his own body as a shield to keep Abraham on the boat.
Wow! That was great!
That day, I was pretty disappointed in myself, but I was proud of my son.
I'm ready. I'm not going to fall in the water like I just nearly did.
We loved Tangalooma so much we decided to go back. After anchoring in Brisbane, we made new friends and wanted to share this paradise with them. The dad, Jared, only had weekends free, so we headed out on Friday afternoon even though the weather was less than ideal. This proved to be a big mistake. What should have been a 4-hour sail turned into 8 long hours in wavy conditions directly into the wind. The mom, Danielle, got food poisoning from the resort, and the next day, the weather was still so bad that the wrecks were too cloudy to see, and the currents and waves were making it impossible to fully enjoy. Eager to show our guests a good time, I was devastated that our trip had turned out the way that it had. We left early to chase some good weather for the return trip home, which was the catalyst for a change of circumstances. We got back to Brisbane in less than 4 hours in perfect waters. It was calm enough that Jared, a master chef, was able to make an amazing meal.
Oh, yeah.
And as the sunset colored the sky, we went under the lit-up Story Bridge. That moment was one of the most breathtaking of my life. So yes, even a disappointing trip to Morton can end up being a glorious memory.
This is a party.
Subscribe to see our Brisbane adventures.